Gracefully and Frankly is made possible by Sierra Sil. The all-natural joint pain relief supplement promises you'll feel a difference in your pain in 14 days or your money back. Just ask my luggage-schlepping husband if it works. It's a game changer.
Find them at sierrasil.com. Sierra like the mountains and sil like silicon.com and get 10% off your order with the code GF.
Episode 54, Gracefully and Frankly, but not even in a studio in honor of 54. I'll tell you the unusual circumstances under which I'm here. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt. Are you under a blanket with Miss Marple and the iron in the drawing room?
Iron? You know I don't iron. Oh, we're going to have a great show for you here today. We're talking about, well, if it's me, it's got to be a travel debacle. But don't worry, no panels went flying out of my plane, which is really kind of now the bar that we set things by.
I'm going on a social media detox, but that's not till next month, and I'll tell you what that means. And really, it only means big changes for me, not so much for anybody else, and it's just 1 month.
And you can make changes no matter what your age. Some of the things you may want to start up at 60 or whatever age you're at, and why you really should do it. The Washington Post had an interesting article on that. Plus, Lisa actually kept a New Year's resolution last year. And I say that like you actually kept it, like it's an exceptional thing for you. I'm in awe of you because I didn't keep it and we were both going to do it. So we'll tell you what that is and how it worked out.
And we'd like to thank our pals at Envy Pillow, Kathy and Kim. If you're like me, Erin, I don't know, I haven't seen if you have this too, but I have like a half drawer full of products that I've tried and they haven't lived up to the hype, you know, supposed to reduce wrinkles or puffiness or whatever, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sleep on a combination of natural latex and copper, scientific studies have shown that copper kills bacteria, neutralizes viruses, and actually improves the look of skin. There's a significant reduction in crow's feet and facial lines, and you can read that study and several others at envypillow.com, envy with a V. Their pillows are made of all natural latex. You can go with or without copper, but if you read up on the copper on the website, you might see why it's lit, as the kids say, or it's the bee's knees, as our grandmothers would say. Envypillow.com. Use the code GF for 10% off any purchase there. No idea what copper does for your knees, but we can only imagine.
For that, you use Sierra Sil. See, we've got you covered.
There you go.
Oh, and by the way, when we do our Facebook Live next Monday, you could win gift certificates from Kim and Kathy from Envy Pillow. So don't miss that, too. Here we go.
So what have you done since you got there?
Unpacked, swimming, a lot of shopping. When you bring people who've never been to the United States, or I mean, our son-in-law Phil has, but his wife Brooke hasn't. She had a whole list of places that she really had to check out. And for the most part, it's been an interesting experience because so many of the things are not just the same price as in Canada once you do the conversion, but actually more, and especially groceries. Like we did our grocery shopping in Target and Walmart, even Costco, and things like cosmetics, battery packs. Now, milk and cheese are cheaper here. I feel like the government is making sure that everybody can afford the basics, including bread. But once you get into the quote unquote luxury items like yogurt, no, more expensive here. So it's been an eye-opening experience from that standpoint.
So what other things have you been shopping for? I mean, you can't just shop for yogurt. What?
I was in TJ Maxx, and you know TJ Maxx is one of my favorite stores. They're related to, you know, Winners and Marshalls and all of those. You get what you get, and it may not be here tomorrow. Sales, right? So I'm in the store, and in one of the standalone sort of displays in the middle of the aisle, they have a bunch of stuff that's super marked down. Most of it is Christmas stuff. Okay. But I didn't bring down enough gentle facial wash because I'm trying to be very aware of space in my suitcase and all of that. So I picked this thing up and it says foaming wash, and I'm like, great. It's got honey in the name. So I buy this, $3. I mean, what can you get for $3, right? So I get it home and I have the bottle in front of me here and I'm looking at the label and it says plant-derived feminine care. Okay, great.
No.
Sensitive foaming wash, dermatologist approved, safe and kind to skin. And then it says pump 3 times, wash intimate parts with clean hands. And I'm thinking, my face is, well, to me, it's an intimate part. And it says made by humans with vaginas for humans with vaginas. I'm thinking, well, what does that have to do with my face? You know what else should have been my big clue? Where I saw foaming wash, I thought I was seeing facial wash. It's foaming wash, and it's the Honey Pot Company.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, that's too funny. But only $3. What a bargain.
So, you know what? I used it on my face last night because I thought, if it's good enough for that, it's got to be good enough for this.
That's
right?
good thinking. I mean, sensitive skin.
Why not?
Wow. I can't wait to go shopping with you again.
Yeah. If I start growing any extra fur or anything, at least I've got my new brawn thing. I don't know.
Oh, my
Jeez.
goodness. Well, there's something maybe if you have the container we can show on the Facebook Live coming up on Monday.
Well, I'll have the container.
There have been a lot of people asking about how it works, and it's not like Zoom, right? The Facebook Live. Everybody isn't on the screen. It's just us, unless we put somebody else on the screen. So nobody has to worry about having their vagina wash handy or getting their makeup done or anything. They don't want to do it.
Okay.
So that's coming up Monday. It's the 15th at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And it's just a chance to ask questions and have some fun because it's our first anniversary. We've got about 120 people signed up, but I mean, a lot of people won't bother saying they're going to come or not because they're not sure, and then they will show up. So I think we'll have a good turnout.
I think so too. And if people are like me, they're, I don't know if I know how to do this. Is it going to be difficult if I sign up and don't show up? You know,
Yeah, no.
Will it be embarrassing? No, it won't.
No.
Just dive in and do it with us next week. That'll be big fun. I'm excited about this.
Yeah, and you just come to the page and it'll show that we're live and you click on it, you're watching. So, and you can take part, text in, whatever you like. So again, that's Monday, 6 o'clock Eastern, and it'll be 3 o'clock for us. And I'm looking forward to it as well. I can't wait to find out what people want to know or what they have to say about the podcast.
Ask anything. There will be no holds barred because, as you know, that's how we roll.
If you're washing
extra clean and shiny.
Yeah, if you're washing your face with a private area slickener, I think you'll
It's not a slicker, it's a cleaner. Just because I am sitting here in a minivan in the garage to do today's recording. And I got to tell you, I was thinking about this morning as we were getting ready to do this, Lisa, for episode 54. Okay, I've done this in bed. And I have done that because when I was in Hawaii, I was in bed with the sheets over my head to make a nice quiet room out of so much tile. I've done it in hotel rooms. I've done it in a car. What are we talking about? Now I'm doing it in the back seat. So, you know, it's just, if only we lived the life we think we live, right?
That's right.
All of these adventures.
I appreciate you going anywhere. No woman has gone before in order to record a podcast.
Speaking of adventures, I am so excited because this Saturday, you and our friend Anita MacArthur, who is married for many years to our longtime producer, Ian the General MacArthur from CHFI. Anita and you, who are great travel partners, as you found flying into Maui last year, are going to be joining me here because the family, we've got Brooke and Phil and Colin and Jane, are all going home that same day with Rob. Then I'll rush home. I'll change the sheets, I promise. And then picking you up a little bit later. I hope your travel day goes more smoothly than ours did.
Yeah, what actually happened? I mean, we anticipate a smooth day. We're flying into Palm Springs, but then we're going to Palm Desert, right? So what happened with you? I know a flight got canceled. You had an overnighter where you didn't plan to?
Well, here's the thing. We leave our house at 8:30 in the morning for a 10:30 a.m. flight. Everything is everything. We get there and they go, okay, 11:20. And you go, all right, that happens. And then we finally get on the flight about an hour later. The plane isn't really going anywhere, and that's kind of bizarre. So We taxi out towards a runway, and the pilot says we're running the engines or whatever, and engine number 2 doesn't want to cooperate. So we're going to have a look at that, and then we'll keep you posted, folks. Okay, all right. So it's good to know. I'm really glad our WestJet crew let us know what was going on so we weren't just sitting there, right?
Yeah.
So to make a long story very short, we had to taxi back to the airport, get off the plane with all your stuff. Then we got notification on our phone, okay, your flight's going at 1:30. And then we got notification on our phone, no, the flight is canceled. So go get your luggage and we'll keep you posted. You may be going out tonight. Okay, well, fortunately for us, we live very close to the airport. So we called some friends. Didn't have our car. We had arranged this wonderful thing with other friends to take us to the airport, so we didn't have to pay $130 for parking for the week. So another friend takes us all home. Rob gets a car, comes back, gets the rest of us and our luggage. We go to the house. The kids have some lunch. We chill out a little bit. And then the flight's going to be at 7:30. So back we go to the airport. It's Groundhog Day. We have to go through security. It's all good. We're ready. We get on the plane. And this plane went to Edmonton instead of Calgary, which was our initial point of transfer to Palm Springs. And we're staying overnight in Edmonton. We knew this. WestJet sent us a list of hotels we could choose. We chose the one closest with a shuttle. We get to the airport, Lisa, at about, once we got our luggage, about 1:30 a.m. Slept literally, if we could, for 2 hours. Then back to the airport for a 7:30 a.m. flight. We were zombies.
Oh, my goodness.
Zombies. The kids were great.
I was going to ask that, how the kids took it, because that will dictate how the day goes, really. So how were they?
Yeah. Little 4-year-old Jane, as we were going to Edmonton, said, I really want to go to Super Mario World. And it's like, honey, we are. It's just not in Edmonton. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna have an overnight adventure in the hotel. The kids were fantastic. And fortunately, I was there to kind of keep them entertained while everybody else was juggling suitcases and trying to get all our bags, which quite easily could have gone on to California.
Right.
Yeah. And so everything worked out that way. We arrived at 10:30 a.m. We'd missed a night in the house that we rented, but we just got straight here, got unpacked, and then went out, got some groceries, and started the vacation a day late. So if my math is correct, we will be getting back a fair bit of money from WestJet for the hours that we spent waiting between when we were supposed to go and when we finally got here. But it'll all be all right. And everybody just rolled with it. So,
you know what, though? My first thought when they said, engine number 2 is not cooperating, I would rather get 2 hours of sleep in an Edmonton hotel room than have them go, we think engine number 2 is going to be all right. We got it held together with duct tape and twine. So we're going to shove this puppy off right now. Better to lose a night and let them fix the frickin' plane
than be a movie of the week. I completely agree. And nothing brings a story like that into perspective, like what happened on the Alaska Airlines with that Boeing panel just...
I know.
Man.
And people's texting home thinking this was the end, and scary thing. So you want everything to be working well when you go. You want, all the best mechanics on duty that day. And you should be getting a nice chunk of change from WestJet. So that's good too.
We sure hope so. This is why we always make room for the F-up ferry in our travel plans. Like if you're going to be cruising and you're supposed to be in Fort Lauderdale, don't go that day. You've got to go the day before or anything like that. And you're a seasoned traveler. You know how it works. You always kind of prepare for the unexpected, right?
Yeah. And even if you're just going to someplace you've rented, like anymore, somebody, maybe not where you went right now, but we went to Europe last fall. Everybody's texting you saying, when are you going to be here? We're sending a car for you. We're doing all this stuff. I mean, you're affecting other people's lives as well. So giving yourself that little bit of elbow room, you want to have some time to mess it up.
I was amazed at how few masks I saw. And down here in California, in the Palm Springs, Palm Desert area, most employees in any of the stores we've been in have worn masks. But I'll tell you that TJ Maxx the other day, And it may be why I bought the wrong foaming wash, because there were so many people and so few wearing masks. We're all masked up because we've been watching the wastewater numbers and knowing that COVID, I mean, crying out loud, even Howard Stern, who doesn't let anybody near him, he's got COVID now. COVID is on the rise, and there were so few people on the plane who were wearing masks. And it's just like, that's exactly where I'm sure I got COVID back in November, is traveling to or fro.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll be up to you and Anita whether you want to do it. But when you got a big vacation planned and everything could go sideways just because of somebody else coughing. And I used to be like this even before COVID. When you'd hear somebody coughing and hacking and sneezing on the plane, you go, oh no, I don't want to catch this. I don't want to be sick. But now you really notice it. There was somebody ahead of us on one of our flights who was coughing up a lung and no mask. And I'm going, oh, please, no. So I put a second mask on.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, I did. I just about went and found myself a wetsuit. I am not catching something and ruining everybody's trip. Not me, not this time.
I pulled up to a drive-through the other day and had a really big sneeze. And I turned away from the drive-through and did it in my elbow like you're supposed to. And the guy at the drive-through window went, "Good job." That was really funny.
He must have toddlers at home or something. Wow.
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, good job. Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I can learn even at my age, as we're finding out that you don't have to stop learning just because you're getting older, right? People take up all sorts of stuff, not just sneezing into their elbow.
Yeah, you're right. And there was a great piece that Mark Manson, who wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a that we talked about in 2023, about if you're 60 years old, you may be in the mindset, well, I can't learn piano now, or why would I try and take up pickleball or something like that. Yeah. But even if you subscribe to the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 hours to get really good at something, you've got time. Yeah. You can try stuff. Like, look at Lisa last year with her drumming lessons. How are you, little drummer girl? Are you still at it?
I'm just as good as I was the last time we talked about it.
Is that a good thing?
No, I'm terrible. Oh. You know what really scares me is Derek's family has a band and they keep saying, "Oh, we're going to get you up drumming next time." And it scares the heck out of me that they're going to put me, someone's going to literally drag me behind the drum kit and I won't know what I'm doing. But the more I do it, the better I get, like anything else, right? I mean, I haven't given it a lot of time, but I have a lack of confidence that I can actually learn a new language. I don't know why that seems to be, well, I mean, it is difficult, but it seems to be something that I figure I should have done when I was younger. I don't know.
Well, there is nothing, according to Mark Manson, immutable, saying that age prevents you from doing something new. It is only you and most of the other adults. But the other adults tell you it can't be done simply because that is also what they tell themselves.
Ah, there you go.
I mean, you have better stick-to-itiveness than I do. You started something at the beginning of 2023, that gratitude jar that I did for about 6 weeks, and then because it was out of sight, out of mind, and that is having sort of a jar or a receptacle for little notes on great things that happened to you as they happened. And I would have a bad week and I would go, I can't think of anything. And so I didn't. And it was in a vase in another room. And so I didn't get to it. A million excuses like everybody else has. Good work, Erin. But you kept to it. So tell me about that experience when you got to the end of the year.
Well, one of the reasons we stuck to it is because we put the jar right in the kitchen and we put a pen and Post-it notes right beside it. So it was right in our faces. We were always going around it. So it was fun to open them all up at the end of the year and to read some of the stuff we'd forgotten about, like even just silly little things like Derek put in one time when I made one of his favorite dinners and how good it was, But there were other things too, like our motorcycle trip and little tiny things that happened, things we discovered or did for each other, or just somebody did for us, or enjoyed visiting with somebody. I mean, it wasn't anything earth shattering, but it was every time we read one, we remembered what the moment was, and it gave us a smile. Or that somebody came to visit that maybe we forgot about. I also realized there was a Cheerio in the jar. And at first I couldn't figure out why. Why is there a Cheerio there? And then I remembered the first time I made my mom's nuts and bolts from her recipe. I mean, it's just such a big load of stuff you have to keep stirring and in these big vessels that I threw a Cheerio in there to remember that I had done it. And so that's what happened.
I'm so glad you didn't make your mom's famous chicken wings.
Oh,
that's a great idea. And you know what? It's only January 11th. We're not even at the halfway mark of this month. And it's never, ever, ever too late to start. You know, again, this is kind of the theme today, I think, inadvertently with the Mark Manson and why aren't you trying something new over 60 or whatever age you're at. But also that gratitude jar. Are you doing it again this year, Lisa?
Yeah, we have it set up for this year. There's a few of them in there right now. And like I say, it doesn't have to be anything earth-shattering. Just when you have that moment, like our laundry room ceiling needed painting and Derek did it. And so I just wrote, oh, Derek painted the laundry room ceiling, yay, or whatever, and threw that in there. And yeah, it's just little things that make you smile through the year. It's nothing like, it doesn't have to be a lottery win or anything, just the good stuff. So you remember the good stuff when the year is over.
One of the things that I wrote about in my journal this past Monday at erindavis.com was how tech helps us. It's a terrible thing because of the misinformation and the fake videos that are out there and what's going to happen with the U.S. election coming up in November and all this misinformation. But the tech of being notified about your flight or being able to check in online and doing all of these things, the tech we can use for good is just so great. So let us not overshadow all the good tech, but boy, you've said you're going to pull away from social media. Oh, which doesn't mean we're going to stop doing Gracefully and Frankly.
Oh,
or
no.
Because people have asked.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all. I'm just going to do a 1 month, and I picked the short one, February, detox from social media. And it's almost like a challenge that Derek issued me. And I've seen a lot of other people doing this too. Just stay off Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Have I forgotten anything?
TikTok, YouTube, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, TikTok I don't even use, but stay off them for a month. So it'll just mean that I won't be tweeting any of my trademark hilarious little slices of life I just won't be putting any mindless blather out there that I normally do. So
no, yours is never mindless. Don't no, I'm not going to let you talk about Lisa like that. No.
All right. Okay. But yeah, so I'm just going to stay off for a month and then I will come back. So I have to delete the apps from my phone. Otherwise I'll be all over them. Then I just bring them back and everything will be fine. So we'll see how that goes. It's supposed to kind of break the habit and just slow me down from going on it so much. I know YouTube is technically social media, but if I'm not interacting with anybody and I'm just watching videos, I don't see the problem there.
It's your rules. It's your Lent, as it were. Whatever you decide to give up. And as long as we're still together, I can still text you. You can still be in touch and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. And just not following anybody's social media. That's all. Just for 1 month. Then I will return triumphantly, I hope.
Okay. Well, I respect that. And I look forward to hearing how it works for you. But what an incredible insight into the world of AI or artificial intelligence that you had last week in a job that you had, and you found out that the author of a book you were narrating wasn't even a human being?
That's right.
What are you working with, Jordan Peterson?
No, I'd rather starve.
Yeah.
That's funny, though. The thing about AI is artificial intelligence just became the buzzword. And it's everywhere. I mean, I got so many emails from people saying, yep, I go on a website, there's a chat bot there that says, let me help you. And you write agent 100 times in hopes that it'll take you to a live person, right? Or ChatGPT was the big artificial intelligence writing program. So you write in a prompt. I want the top 3 things people worry about, which is an example I made up for my blog. And it will plagiarize from the rest of the internet and bring you those things. It doesn't think for itself. It just steals from everyone. I mean, the New York Times is suing the makers of some of these programs because they're stealing from the New York Times. So I had worked with this guy before. Long story short, he said, I'd love to work with you again. I went, yeah, I'd love to work with you too, because I like to eat. And he sent me the text after I had agreed. Now, that's where I made my mistake. I've never done that, but I did it because it was somebody I'd worked with before. And it just seemed impersonal, generic, lots of what seemed like filler in it. I went to look for the author, and her name only came up as the author of these books. So I did an image search. You just plop the image into Google Images, and it finds it. And I found out that the photo was AI. It was being used for other things. It is an artificially generated woman. She doesn't exist.
Wow.
Huh. Yeah. So then I sit back and I go, okay, do I want to represent? I mean, they came for a human voice. Everything else is fake, but they came for a voice that's human, which is me. And I thought, do I want to represent this person who isn't even real? And ultimately, I decided that I'd signed a contract. There were layers to it. I didn't want to, there's nothing in it that says, you must be real flesh and blood. I thought, I'm going to do it. I'm going to hold my nose. I'll get it done, get paid, and run away. And so that's what I decided. But I will do my due diligence next time. I really put the blame on me for that one because the industry is changing so much. You just don't know. It's up to people like me to do a little more investigation.
What kind of made you go, oh, this ain't right, besides looking for the author?
There were a couple of places where things repeated, not exactly, but close enough that you would go, you already said that. But the big thing that was a red flag was metaphor in almost every paragraph. So it just felt like they were just trying to fill so that it would be book length.
Wow.
It was over and over and over. It wasn't well written. And I think that's why.
Well, I think that you've shone a light on the fact that we just need to be more aware and, not paranoid, not afraid, but just more aware. Ask the questions and hopefully you'll come to your own conclusions. But, that's what we're here for.
Right. What's really funny is most voice people are very scared that AI is going to take over from our jobs. And you know what AI sounds like. It doesn't sound quite human.
Some of it's pretty darn good.
It's getting better. But isn't it funny that the AI was actually the text and the photo and they came to a human for the job? So you just never know.
Yeah. And there's no replicating Lisa Brandt.
Many have tried. No, they haven't.
Well, safe travels to you and Anita this Saturday. I know you'll do your part. Smooth travels is what I wish for you both.
Thank
you. I cannot wait to pick you up at the airport and hopefully find my way here. You guys are both really good navigators, and I've got my phone, which will also help me. So there's AI for good, giving me directions. And I cannot wait until we sit down together with everybody this coming Monday for episode 55, Facebook Live. Da, 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 da. It's going to be wonderful.
It will be. So all you need to do is go to our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page, 6 p.m. Eastern. You'll see that we're live. Click on it and you're there. You're part of the party.
All right. Thank you so much to Envy Pillow. I know you're bringing yours along, and to Sierra Sil for making this possible. And have your comments, have your say at Gracefully and Frankly's Facebook page. Take care.
Bye-bye.